Hi, so this video is for the people that when the markets crashed, it affected a lot of people. A lot of marriages broke up, a lot of people lost their business, their business dried up, and they can't find a job anywhere. So, what you got to do then is just you got to start your own business again. Sometimes the business that you were in is still uh, there's still a market for it, just not in the area that you are. Maybe it's just slowed down quite a bit. So you may, move 20 minutes or just change locations where you offer the service, or maybe you're like, well, I need to move a city over. Um, so maybe that's something to look at because I was just watching something on Dateline, and the this couple was together for 18 years, um, and then they do what they do behind all of our backs. Like, people have to understand, like, every day, there's educated people that are engaging in criminal activity with people's money, and that's the truth. They are engaging in criminal activity, and people are in the noisy every day, running the kids back and forth to school, or they're working and they're grocery shopping and they're trying to make ends meet. But meanwhile, the people that know better aren't doing better, and there's not enough light on these situations. There's not enough light on what they make, what the bonuses are, um, you know, and a way to track, uh, you know, like the way, like, for instance, when I was facilitating uncontested divorces, and this lawyer came after me, and I told him to go to hell because he sent me this 15-page email. It's like, if you want to have a conversation, but he didn't. He wanted to fight, right? And so I said, well, you want to fight? You're gonna have a fight, and that's it. We fought, and I actually beat his ass in court. My argument won over his, and the judge hearing the matter was the same judge hearing my child support matter, and he wouldn't enforce the order because he didn't. He said to me, "You're lucky you even have a copy of, like, the copy of the arrears showing that my kid's dad didn't support the kids." I'm just saying, do his part. You don't have to do my part. Right? And I never asked for other stuff. It's just basic stuff, right? And he didn't. So yeah. So anyway, this same judge showed up mysteriously on these other cases. So yeah. So that didn't go over well. So I challenged the judge. I said I yelled. I said, why the hell? Like, I didn't say hell. I said, why are you even hearing this matter? We already have conflict on another matter because he said he was seized of the order. So I sent him emails. I was like, are you going to enforce it? And he said basically no. And I was like, look, people need their orders enforced. This is why we go to court. This is why we don't hurt the other person. This is supposed to be democracy. And people do the right thing, and they go to the court of law, and they expect this judge gets paid $250,000 a year, right? What the hell does he do? You know? I go to the courts, and the courts aren't busy. You know why? Because people just don't have any faith in them. I don't know what the hell these guys do all day long for $250,000, but there's barely anybody around. But that's a whole separate issue. But anyway, so my argument won over this because this lawyer was trying to say I gave legal advice because they wanted this injunction against my company, but I don't give legal advice. I don't. And so the judge filed an injunction in the same breath that he talked about me getting shot in the head. That's what it's like in Vancouver. That's what it's like. And the police, well, one of the police says that he goes, I get told I'm gonna get killed. They're gonna kill me all the time. That's what the police officer said. I said, well, that's interesting. I'm not sure how to respond to that, but I'm not really comfortable with a judge saying that to me. Obviously, you are. Well, see, what goes on in Canada is a lot of bad guys in suits with titles. No problem picking up their paycheck, taxpayers' money, right? My money. They don't have a problem with that. but they don't do their jobs. And people in not just Canada, but a lot of areas need to say stuff. So there's a police file open on this judge now, and that's the first time in probably BC history that there is a police file on this judge, and there's two on the lawyer. My ads get flagged. I had my website was taken down. I've had, oh wow, let me see. I have had public humiliation. They went after my company they did a story. They didn't even contact me one place, and the other place, the other news organization, uh, once I said something about what they said in the story, they changed the story online. They posted another story online because what they first initially said, I didn't say any of that, and then they changed that. So yeah. So in my opinion, there's been bribes paid. I've received another. There was this other guy calling me, trying to get me to get a lawyer to represent. I said I use the common sense that God gave me. You know, and truth is connected to God. I accept God in my life. I'm very connected to God. I'm very protected by God. And so when I went into that court, I just had faith, knowing that as long as I was strong, and as long as I kept myself organized, I made the best argument, which was the truth. The truth would but it didn't matter if I showed up with Mother Teresa on my arm, because they weren't going to give me the win, because it's corruption. And this matters to everybody. It's not just to me. It matters to business people, it matters to women, it matters to men. Men, these aren't men. This judge and this lawyer representing all these lawyers, these aren't men. These are according to what even CRA said. CRA read the email, said report the criminal activity to the police. So, men need to stand up to these bad guys that are taking their tax dollars home with them every Thursday or every, whenever the hell they get paid. $250,000. And so I stood up to them. I yelled at the judge, and I was like, why are you even hearing this matter? And my argument went out, and I went to the police. This police file's open. I told the guy that I believe that the lawyer was trying to get this guy to call me. It's like, yeah, well, I had a case against that lawyer, and I used this lawyer. Why don't you call? They were trying to get me to lawyer up so I would lose the case, but I didn't lose the case. You see, my argument went out, so I actually beat this lawyer. So he's not that good, because I'm not even a lawyer, and I beat him. Because imagine if it was a good lawyer. But the truth will if you stay true to if you're strong enough to just bring the truth forward, it will prevail any kind of trick that they want to do, right? Yeah, they had 3 sheriffs the second day. They had 3 sheriffs at the back of the court waiting to pull me off because they thought I would yell at the judge again. Stupid. I was so shocked that he was hearing this. I even asked the lawyer next to me. I'm like, is that Judge blah blah blah? She said, yeah. I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden I'm called up. I was just like, are you kidding? It was such just a reaction, It's like, why are you even hearing this? And that's what everybody said. It's a conflict of interest, So, I suspect that eventually the police are going to go in and arrest these guys, as they should. It sends a strong message. We get closer to a justice system, because we're not even quite at a legal system yet. And what about those interesting real estate deals going down in the court? If you want to make some money, you got to get down to the courts. I get the address for the foreclosures, because man, did I see something going on in there that was just like they contact each other, they communicate with each other. Through their eyes. Yeah, this deal this real estate deal, or no, they don't use the word deal. They say this real estate's $475,000 in this, and then they look over here and they look over there and they look over there. It's all this big. It's like what would go on in hell, right? In hell. And it's like, I know what you want, I know what you want, and then the lawyers having they are a bunch of spoiled little bastards, these judges. You have to see them. Oh man, there's some evil shit going on in those courtrooms. And you know what? Somebody's making a lot of money off those real estate uh, transactions, and that's for sure. So I highly recommend that you guys get in there. You can send me the address. I have a Joanne's REI deal board. I can post them if we do a deal. Then you can get paid. But otherwise, I mean, you could do that. You could sell it to an investor. You can see what's going on yourself and report it yourself. Because it's not right. What they're doing behind, people's backs while people are busting their ass, working 16 hours a day and 2 jobs, just trying to make ends meet. These guys coming along, it's a conflict of interest for them to be doing that. And what about all the people that have complaints about lawyers? Nothing being done. Nothing being done. That, lawyers can't investigate themselves. I mean, come on. Lawyers investigate themselves? Like, that's a joke. That's a bad joke, too. So there needs to be another entity to oversee the lawyers. And there needs to be a different entity to oversee complaints about judges too, because I filed a complaint about the judge, and now they won't even respond to me. The Judicial Council of Canada doesn't even respond to me. I'm like, I filed a complaint about the guy that took the complaint. At first, he was like, oh, when he first saw that, yeah, there was a death threat made. Then he's, oh, okay, we're gonna, and then when he found out that it was like for, because I wanted to facilitate uncontested divorces, which, by the way, in BC, if you go down to the courthouse on Smythe, right across the street from the Supreme Courthouse, there's a self-help center, and in there, they can give you the documents, and they have a computer set up, some computers set up, and it's $290 for the fees. And ask the court to waive the fees if you can't afford them. You have to show your income and stuff like that. There's certain criteria that you have to meet. But if you want to get an uncontested divorce, free legal advice with your local courthouse. Ask for duty counsel during business hours. I think they go for lunch between 12 and 1:30. So I can help you, but not if you're in BC, because they filed this injunction with me, right? So they're not happy with me. I'm not happy with them. And lots of police know, and the government knows, the feds know, a lot of people know. So there's a lot of light going on. So just get in there and see what's going on. Get yourself some money. Okay. Bye.